Hey everybody, this is Walt.
This is Max.
And you are listening to our podcast on dystopian cinema.
We call it The Future Sucks, and we are Useless Info Inc. And Walt, before we get started, I have an announcement to make.
What is that?
We're on iTunes now.
Yeah!
Yeah, exactly.
The big time. We hit the big time.
Yeah, it's like we've got a legitimate podcast. So we're on iTunes and Google Play.
We're for real now.
Yeah.
Legit. We've gone legit, people.
And if you happen to be listening to us on those platforms, do the thing where you do the like, whatever that is.
Do the thing with the thing?
With
the other thing?
Whatever the thing that you can do that doesn't cost you money, but that like lets iTunes and Google Play know that you actually like this thing, right?
Okay.
Whatever that
sure,
is.
Whatever
that
is.
is.
I don't know what it is, but just like it.
I don't know you. Yeah, like it.
Like it and listen to it.
Like it and listen to it, yeah. So then we get some props, and who knows, maybe someday we'll actually get some advertising. Like people will like pay us some money to sponsor.
That'd be kind of nice.
Tommy John underwear, if you want us, come and get us.
Right. And we'll model it too.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's going to happen. Okay, anyway, today we're going to do The Matrix.
The Matrix.
1999, directed by the Wachowski brothers, as they identified at that time.
When they were the brothers.
Now they're the Wachowski siblings.
Right.
They
were Larry and Andy, and now they're Lana and Lily.
Yes.
Which was very surprising to me when I first heard about it.
At first it was Lana, who did the transition.
Right, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Right,
and then I didn't even know that Andy...
There was no mention of any of this in the press. I mean, it's a private thing anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't change the brilliance of their directing skills.
Yeah, not at all.
The Wachowski brothers at the time directed and wrote.
Exactly. And wrote, yeah. It was their thing. Their second movie, right? After Bound.
After Bound, which had moderate success. And they kind of rode that.
Exactly, yeah.
They fought for this film to make it.
Yeah, that one also had lots of leather, but in a different way. Okay, so let's do a little summary here, right? Okay, so how does it start out? It begins with a bunch of cops raiding a building, right?
Yeah, first you get the digital rain scene.
Of course.
With, I believe, Cypher and Trinity talking, having a conversation.
Right, okay.
And then it fades into the cops raiding this building.
Yeah. Trinity is holed up in room 303.
Like that has a significance?
People who are into numerology have examined all the room numbers in this movie.
Really?
101, 303, and yeah, it's a whole thing.
I could see if it was 101 because it's almost like code, you know what I mean?
Because it's like a binary.
Right, binary
and
code.
101, I think, means 5, which...
Anyway,
people get off on this stuff on the internet. You know that.
Right.
I mean, there's if you Google it, if you Google Matrix theories, you're going down a rabbit hole, which of course happens in this movie too, right? Okay.
No pun intended.
Anyway, moving on. So a bunch of cops are after Trinity, and then we find out that she's got some mad skills, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's the first time.
Practically almost superpowers.
Yeah, it's the first time we see the wire fu thing.
Right.
And the bullet time. Famous bullet time. And there's an agent after her.
Agent Smith.
This guy.
Agent Smith.
And he crashes a truck into a phone booth that she's in, and she just disappears.
Right.
Which is an interesting setup to a movie, of course. Then we meet Neo, right? Mr. Anderson.
Thomas Anderson,
yes, exactly. Who goes by Neo, that's like his online hacker name, right?
Right.
That's
his alias.
Exactly, yeah. So he receives a message on his screen, follow the white rabbit. That turns into a whole thing where he ends up at this party and he meets Trinity face to face.
Right, this weird club, this underground club.
Yes, where they play pretty cool music.
Of the day,
yes. Cool music of the day.
Right.
Not mainstream music.
Right.
And he knows Trinity by reputation as a hacker. But then there's this whole thing about what is the Matrix and all that kind of stuff.
Remember what she says to him? What he says to her? I thought you were a dude.
Yeah.
And she was like, most dudes do.
Yeah.
Most guys do.
Of course, because back then, if you were
a hacker,
it was assumed that you
were a guy.
Yeah. 1999, remember?
Right.
Almost 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mr. Anderson goes to work the next day, and of course he's a fuck up. He's on the verge of being fired, right?
Constantly late. And the speech the boss gives him, very reminiscent of our last movie that we reviewed, Rollerball.
Yeah.
The company acts as a unit.
Yeah.
It's not about one person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really reminded me. So it's funny that you picked this right after for me. Because as soon as I saw that, I said, did you figure that out or did you pre-plan that?
No, I did not pre-plan that.
Okay,
That's an interesting parallel, though. Yeah, you definitely, because it puts the hero in a certain situation.
Yeah.
And you know immediately where he stands in contrast to the rest of society. Good call on that. So he gets a call from the mysterious Morpheus.
Morpheus.
And he's told to get out of this building, right?
Right.
And
they're coming for you, Neo. And I don't know what they're going to do. So ominous.
And
that would scare the shit out of me.
Yeah. He's told to get out on the scaffold, get up on the roof.
Right.
he won't do it, which I believe in the hero's journey is called refusing the call.
Right.
Because, of course, you can do that with this whole movie, the whole hero's journey thing, just like you can with Star Wars and a number of other movies.
Right.
So he gets taken into custody, and that's where he comes face to face with Agent Smith.
Mr. Anderson.
They stick a weird insect into his
A bug,
stomach.
literally. He's
Yeah,
bugged.
literally a bug.
It's like this Lovecraftian shrimp.
Yeah.
First, it looks like a transmitter and turns into this weird Lovecraftian shrimp creature thing and crawls in his belly button.
Yeah.
Well, first, then they shut his mouth. They seal his mouth closed.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which was pretty creepy.
So he's figuring out things aren't quite right.
Right.
At this point, right?
Yeah, he's finally starting to figure out something else is up.
Yeah, but they let him go, and then he gets taken by Trinity, right? Finally meets Morpheus. Oh, they take the bug out. They take the bug out.
Actually, he winds up at home in his bed, thinks
Yeah.
it's a dream.
Yeah.
And then he gets the message from Morpheus to meet Trinity.
Yeah.
At the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, so they pick him up, take the bug out, and then he meets Morpheus, and that's when he's offered the pills, right?
Right. But that's a great intro scene with Morpheus. Great way to introduce a character.
Yeah, solid. This
Very mythical.
The red pill leads to knowledge, and the blue pill basically leaves you where you are.
Right.
So then this is where he finally answers the call and goes beyond the world that he knows into the strange new world because he takes the red pill. And then he finds himself who the hell knows where, right?
Right, yeah.
He wakes up in this liquid bath plugged into cables and all this kind of weird shit.
Nude, plugged into cables and some
Yep.
weird goo. And then a giant robot comes and unplugs his brain plug.
I hate it when that happens.
That was my Saturday night.
And the system like flushes him down the toilet, basically, right?
Basically, yeah. Down another rabbit hole.
Yep. Where
but
he
less
gets,
pleasant.
Where he gets picked up by a ship called
The
Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar.
I can never say that.
The
that
Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar. And
Say that 5 times fast.
then he meets this whole group of people, right?
Right.
And
The crew of.
Yeah, and he finds out that this is the real world. The Matrix is a computer-constructed simulation.
Right.
And he finds out that this is actually about the year 2999.
2199
Yeah,
is
and
what Morpheus
isn't
says.
He's not even sure.
They
He's
said
like, I think it's...
We can't really tell is what
Yeah,
yeah.
And basically, in a nutshell, there was AI. The AI rose up and defeated us, and now we're all batteries.
Basically, yeah.
Right? Yeah, we're batteries. And
Man is used for his bioelectrical currents and
Yeah.
BTUs
to power
of
these
heat.
machines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as an energy source.
Yeah.
Used with some sort of fusion, he describes it as.
Yeah.
Some sort of mechanical fusion.
Yeah.
And they even liquefy the dead and feed it intravenously to other humans.
Again, reminiscent of Soylent Green.
Yeah,
Another thing
yeah.
I did not need to know.
Sorry to remind you.
Yeah.
Gag reflex. Look
Yeah.
out, here I come.
Because there's been nuclear exchange, nuclear winter, clouds blot out the sun, so that machines can't get solar energy.
Well,
Right?
I thought that Morpheus said that it was humans that blotted out the sky.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they did it on purpose to stop their energy source, which was
Did
solar
they,
power.
Okay, was their aim to blot out the sun, or were they just trying to nuke the machines?
No, I thought it was to blot out the sun
It was
because
specifically to do that?
they were
Okay.
powered by solar energy.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's what I remember anyway.
Gotcha, okay.
But please, once again, if you guys know, it's
And
not
all-
like we watched the movie or anything. You know?
And all this ends up being explained in the animated series, right? The Animatrix?
It's kind of more like vignettes.
Yeah, okay.
There is
But
a little
they
bit.
do
There
go
is
in the backstory of
There
that
is,
whole
yeah.
thing, yeah.
The first two, I believe, or the first
There's
two
like,
vignettes
there's like
explain.
a two-part thing
Yeah.
that gives you the whole, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you care about it, go watch those.
And they're
guess
kind
is
of
what we're
fun.
saying.
They're
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I
remember
think
them
those are
being
the two
kinda
better vignettes on that anyway.
And they're kind of like Japanese anime style.
Yeah.
So they're very interesting and stylized.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so the Matrix is essentially this simulated reality used to keep people content, right?
Docile,
while
content.
they're like in these bio-unit things. But now we're in the real world, which is a set of I think it's like the sewer system underground or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Where they float around these hovercraft things. The rest of humanity, the ones who are like kind of woke in the real world, they live in a place called Zion at the Earth's core.
Zion, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Very close to the Earth's core, where it's still warm, they describe.
Yes, yes. And of course, the machines, their objective is to find Zion and destroy it. Similar setup to the Terminator.
Right.
In a certain sense, I think that they
Oh, yeah.
they took some information from that. But the important point is Morpheus thinks that Neo is the one prophecy to kind of the Messiah to come in and save humanity.
Once again, another religious connotation in
Yep.
a dystopian film.
So he goes into training. He learns like karate and
Jiu-jitsu,
kung fu,
kung
all those
fu,
kinds of-
boxing.
Just by having things plugged in, right?
Yeah. And it takes literally 2 seconds.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
brain plug, the brain stem plug thing.
Yeah.
And he even says it at one point when Morpheus shows up and says, "How's his training going?"
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "I know kung fu." And this Keanu Reeves way.
Yeah, he spars with Morpheus.
Right, which is a great scene.
It's a pretty cool scene, yeah. And he finds out that if you are killed in the Matrix, you die.
Right.
Yeah.
The body can't live without the mind, is what he said.
At one point, the ship is attacked by a squiddy, the Sentinel.
The Sentinel,
Yeah.
Which are pretty badass looking.
Yeah, they're creepy. They're kind of Lovecraftian.
Yeah, hate to reference that again, but yeah, they are.
And he has a talk with Cypher, and Cypher wonders why he didn't take the blue pill.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's the way Cypher's feeling right now.
As
it's like, why didn't I?
As they're drinking this kind of bad hooch, right?
Moonshine.
I mean, if I were drinking bathtub gin, I might question my life choices as well, quite honestly.
Flying around in a dirty-ass ship.
So that basically we find out that Cypher is going to betray everybody.
Yeah, it's his foreshadowing.
He wants to go back to the Matrix.
Yeah.
And we see him in a fancy restaurant in the Matrix talking with Mr. Smith. He wants to go back, and he doesn't want to remember that he was ever in the real world. He's choosing basically ignorance.
Yeah,
He's
right.
choosing the blue pill.
He says ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. So he betrays everybody, essentially.
He's another main villain. Yep. Besides the agents.
Yep.
And the Matrix itself, or the machines, I should say.
Exactly.
He's the human enemy.
Exactly.
In the film.
Yeah. And we meet the Oracle.
Right.
Who is supposed to tell Neo whether he's the one or not.
Right.
And she's like, no, sorry, you're not the one.
Right.
Yeah, which becomes a different thing later. And then they're all attacked, right? He sees a cat do the same thing twice.
Right, when they're making their escape.
And he says deja vu.
Yeah.
Because I love this. They're like, oh, no. Deja vu is actually a signal.
It's a glitch.
There's a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the way they take real world shit like that.
Yeah, I thought that was
with that. You
a lot of fun
clever.
about the film.
Yeah. And so they're on the run now. Morpheus gets captured.
Right.
By the agents, right?
Basically, he sacrifices himself to get Neo out.
Yeah.
He tells Trinity to get him out at all costs. Because that's basically what the Oracle told him. That, he was going to... She told Neo he was going to sacrifice himself to save him.
She says he has a choice.
Neo.
You can choose. You can sacrifice your own life for Morpheus or not.
Right.
Right.
Right. That's right.
And the way I read it was by telling him that he's not the one, that lets him do that.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise he's going to be like, well, I'm the one. I can't sacrifice myself for Morpheus.
Right.
Because I'm more important.
Right.
But if he's not the one, then Morpheus is more important. So
she did have a master plan, so to speak.
Exactly. Cypher starts taking out people in the real world.
Yeah, the other crew members.
Yeah.
Switch and APOC are killed.
Yep.
Then he's going after Neo. Well, he also takes down Tank and Dozer on the ship.
Yeah.
With that weird electricity gun, the lightning gun.
Uh-huh.
And then as he's about to pull the plug on Neo, Tank jumps up with the electricity gun and fries him.
Right when someone says it would take a miracle to stop him.
Yeah, exactly. He says it himself.
Yeah.
Cypher says it himself. That's correct.
Yeah,
right.
and guess what happens?
Boom, boom. Believe it or not, you piece of shit, you're going to burn. But he took so long to say that. He could have ran. He could have,
So he gets taken out. And now it's down to getting Morpheus, right? Neo and Trinity decide to go after Morpheus.
Right, after Tank gets him out of the Matrix.
Yeah, so they get put back in, and this is where you get that real badass lobby scene.
Oh, yeah.
This is full bullet time.
The lobby shootout.
Yeah, and this is where you get the really iconic scenes of him in the bullet time and all that kind of stuff. And
running up the walls and the somersaults.
Yep, all that kind of stuff, yeah. This is when he kind of finds out that he is the one, because he can move as quickly as the agents can.
When he does the bullet time thing on the roof.
Yeah.
Well, Trinity says it, too. How'd you do that?
Yeah.
You move like they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he starts to realize that he can do certain things. He starts to see what Morpheus was saying about you can bend the rules here.
Yeah.
You can change this reality.
Yeah. But he does figure out that he is the one at that point, doesn't he?
I don't think he fully... Actually, you know what? I retract that. I don't think he doesn't really fully realize that he is. But I think Morpheus says that he's starting to believe.
Okay. Well,
now, I don't think that he realizes that he's the one yet. I think that he's starting to believe that he can do what he was told he can do in the Matrix.
Okay. So it's later when he can stop the bullets.
Later, I think. When he's when he's resurrected.
Yeah, with a kiss. Yeah.
No, that was in the. Was it? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because she does it on the ship. Right.
Yeah. All he had to do was rearrange the letters in his name.
Right.
And they spell one.
Yeah. Right.
So he could have saved a lot of time that way. Anyway, he can stop the bullets, he can stop Smith, and he can kind of gets inside Smith and blows him up.
Yeah, which is wild. He jumps inside his body.
Yeah.
Then he sees the Matrix while he's in the Matrix in code, in the digital range.
Exactly. all signs that he's got some other special thing.
Right.
And at the end, he flies.
Yeah, he flies away like Superman.
Basically.
Well, then he's trying to free other people. He's on the phone with someone, trying to
Yeah.
free them from the Matrix. And then he just zooms up into the sky.
And it's as if he's speaking to us.
Yeah,
Right.
right, exactly. Like he's speaking to the audience.
I thought that was the implication. Like,
Right.
I'm going to free you from your reality. So one thing I was wondering, well, as I was watching this again, is how do you watch an iconic movie with fresh eyes?
You can't really.
Because this is one of the most iconic movies we've covered so far, right?
I mean, yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah, along with Blade Runner
Blade
and Road
Runner,
Warrior.
Road
Yeah.
Warrior.
But that one shot of him kind of like, bending back with the bullets,
Yeah.
that may be the most iconic scene out of all the movies we've covered.
Right.
Right?
Especially with modern cinema, modern
Yeah.
dystopian cinema. I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's just, it's indelible.
Right.
How do you kind of go back and try to, I mean, you remember when you first saw this, right?
Sure, it was a fantastic
Yeah.
movie. You walked out of there going, God damn it, I believe in the Matrix. I want to be in the
Yeah.
Matrix. I want to
Yeah.
be Neo or whatever the hell.
But it's been so influential
Oh, yeah.
on
the board.
on action filmmaking, sci-fi filmmaking. I mean, it's a cyberpunk movie, of
Yeah.
course. Took cyberpunk in different directions. Yeah, like how do you just go back and try to experience it that way? I don't.
Not really.
Yeah, you really can't.
For me, I gave the film a really, really long break. A long break.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in at least a few years. Because when
Yeah.
it came out, I think I saw it in the theater twice.
Okay.
And then when I bought the DVD, I watched it at least a gazillion times.
Yeah.
I can't even
Okay.
count how many.
Yeah.
My poor DVD is getting worn out.
Huh.
So I had to give it a long break because
Yeah.
you can almost do a one-man show of it after a while
Yeah.
and act out all the parts.
Yeah.
Watching it again for me after taking a few years break from it,
Well, how did that?
there were
feel?
certain things. There were certain things I was like, "Oh, right, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's cool." You know, so that's why I'll give certain films that I like a long break, so then I can kind of see certain parts again.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you'll know the basic premise and the iconic scenes, like you said, but for the most part, other little bits, you'll go, "Oh, right, that was a cool little thing in there."
There are things that surprise me. It still surprises me that Morpheus doesn't die at the end.
I know everybody thought I thought
Because
so
he's
too.
so Obi-Wan, he couldn't be more
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, right?
Right,
Like
right.
he ends up being in the third movie.
Yeah.
Which all surprised me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, see, I haven't seen Revolutions in forever.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can't remember if he's the only one that survives or not. I know Trinity and Neo die.
yeah, I can't remember.
I can't
how
remember
that
if
ends up.
Morpheus survives. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, yeah.
Because for me, it was the weakest of the three.
It pretty
and
much
it was really
is.
ham-fisted.
Yeah, it is.
They went crazy with
It
the
is.
religious and philosophical connotations.
For the third one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't remember a lot about that one.
Yeah.
I may have only seen it once, quite honestly.
Right.
Saw the second one a few times.
Yeah,
probably,
same here.
but
Same here.
yeah, third one's disappointing.
Yeah, and I remember when they said they were going to make a trilogy, I freaked out. Like, what's that going to be like? How crazy is it going to get now that this is a billion-dollar franchise
Yeah.
thing we're talking about?
Yeah.
And sadly, the other two were a little disappointing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd watch Reloaded over Revolutions.
Reloaded, is kind of like The Empire Strikes Back.
Kind of.
I mean, not that it's that good in comparison to the first one, but it takes it in different directions and surprises you.
Right.
Gives you things that you didn't quite expect, like the whole idea that Neo is actually part of the whole plan.
Right, yeah.
You know,
right.
like the one is actually another type of control.
And with the
from
architect.
the perspective of the
and-
machines.
right.
Yeah. So that was interesting. And that one car chase sequence, phenomenal.
That's the metal moment in that one.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know,
Absolutely amazing.
And the license plates, the numbers are supposed to be passages from the Bible.
Oh, and that
The
scene?
license plates of
Oh, I didn't know
Trinity's
that.
bike and Agent Smith's car.
Yeah.
I forget which ones, but I
Okay.
read that a while back and I was like, that can't be true. And then someone actually provided photos
Yeah.
on the internet on one of their websites, someone's website. I can't remember who now. Sadly, sorry. But I did look them up in the Bible and I was like, holy
Yeah.
crap, it's true.
Damn, okay.
So,
That's a good segue, actually, because what I wanted to bring up next is this movie is so loaded with philosophical and religious correspondences and references.
absolutely.
I mean, people have written books. There have been so many master's theses written on this movie. We don't want to go too deep in this, but I'd like to touch on a few
Okay.
that I think are kind of interesting. So Morpheus explains to Neo that what we experience is just due to our neurons firing, right? So all reality is subjective, can be manipulated by ourselves and others.
Right.
That's already a really interesting concept,
Right.
right?
That's what makes things real.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Neurons firing in your brain.
So essentially, it's all in your head. And later on, Trinity kind of expands upon that and says that it means that the Matrix cannot tell you who you are.
Right.
Because we're not what our subjective experiences tell us what we are. Which is, because it's kind of contrary to the existential viewpoint, which is that you are the sum total of your experiences.
Right.
Everything, right? But this is something different. And then the goal ends up being to free our minds from the illusions that trap us.
Right.
And I can't think of a better distillation of the basics of Eastern philosophies, like Buddhism and Hinduism.
Right.
You know? Because you've got this going on, but then you've also got like the Christian Messiah imagery.
Right, with Neo. Yeah.
It's almost like how many religions can you cram into one movie?
Right.
Right? And still have cool action shit.
Also, Neo is, isn't it Latin for new?
Yes.
Latin for new.
Yes.
Change.
Yeah, change. Yeah, he's the one who brings about change.
And Morpheus is the god of sleep in mythology.
Yeah, and dreams.
In dreams, right.
Yeah. Manipulating illusions.
Then Trinity, you have the religious connotation again, the Holy Trinity.
Holy Trinity. How does that work in, do you think?
I guess maybe when the three of them together. I can't...
Yeah, third or something.
Yeah,
and she is in room 303.
Right.
And
Here we go.
I know. You can just keep on going.
Well, then once again, the Lewis Carroll references down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
They're trying to find his body. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting in that room, and they talk about the red pill being a trace program.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there, he's plugged into the machines, and he looks at the mirror, which is fractured, and then it becomes whole.
Yeah.
And then he touches it, literally goes through the looking glass,
Yes,
I should
he
say.
does.
He goes through the looking glass to get out of the Matrix, which was interesting.
Yeah.
And I mean, even like you said earlier, Morpheus says it, you must feel like Alice tumbling down the rabbit hole right now. Mm-hmm. So there's that too.
Yeah.
You got Plato, touches of Plato in there, you know.
Yeah, the whole thing of the cave and all that.
The cave.
Yeah. There's another interesting... Okay, so the whole thing with Cypher. There's this talk about how most people in the Matrix are so dependent on the Matrix that they will fight to preserve it.
Right.
Because people are so bound to their illusions, right?
Right.
Cypher prefers ignorance to bliss, which kind of explains, I don't know, religion and why so many people kill and die to hold on to this illusion.
Very true.
You know?
Very true.
Not only does Cypher want to return to the fake world, he wants to forget that there ever was a real world.
A real world, yeah.
And his
the
name,
desert of the real.
And his name in the Matrix is Mr. Reagan.
Yeah, right.
That cannot be a coincidence, right?
I know. Being children of the 80s and stuff, you know?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, the Oracle. Mm-hmm. Early on, Neo says he doesn't believe in fate. He doesn't like the idea that his life is planned out for him.
That he's not in control.
Yeah.
But meanwhile...
But the Oracle, right, the whole thing with the vase.
Right.
Like, don't worry about the vase.
Right.
But then the question is, by telling him about that, does she make him, like, look at the vase and break it?
Right.
Is she sort of subtly manipulating him?
Right.
Or has she foretold the future? And then the whole thing where, by telling him he's not the one, she ensures that he goes and does the thing that he needs to with Morpheus.
Well, Morpheus says what was said was for you and you alone.
Right.
When they're leaving.
Okay.
The Oracle's place. Mm-hmm. I think that's what she was doing. She told him what he needed to hear to do what he needed to do.
What he needed to do.
Yeah. The vase thing was funny, though.
Yeah.
That was great.
So is she foretelling the future? Does she know what's going to happen?
That's hard to say. I don't know.
And are they questioning the whole concept of free will?
True, very true. See, okay, right. Now I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
He could also be manipulated by the Oracle as well as the machines with the Matrix.
Yeah.
Now it's all for a greater good, supposedly on the side of the revolutionaries with Morpheus and Trinity and Neo.
Yeah.
And by any means necessary, maybe, that she's doing that to get him to do what he needs to fucking do.
It's like if you go to a fortune teller and you believe the person and she tells you you're going to take a trip.
Right.
You'll book an air ticket.
Right.
If you actually believe that.
Right.
It's not, but is she foretelling the future? I don't know. Not really.
She kind of says that one little joke after he breaks the vase.
Yeah.
Where she says, what's really going to bake your noodle later on.
Yeah.
Because if I said anything,
exactly.
would you have broken it?
Yeah.
You know?
So does the movie stand on either side of that? Or is it just ambiguous?
Right. I think it's a little ambiguous.
It's
not defined.
It would be an odd choice to kind of imply that fate is an actual thing, that you are fated to take a certain path, because so much of the movie is about liberating yourself
right
from these things that bind you.
Right.
So it's a strange kind of tension that I don't think the movie resolves. I think maybe the viewer has to resolve it, or just like struggle with it.
I think it's different points of view they're trying to put into the one film.
Okay.
I don't think they thought they were going to get two more, to be honest.
Probably not. Yeah.
Because then they kind of switch gears with the second and third,
Yeah.
where it's a lot more religious and philosophical. A lot more.
Definitely the
especially
second
with
one.
Neo's character.
Yeah.
And especially by the third one by the end, you know. And if anybody hasn't seen it, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But you can guess
Another
where it's going to
time.
fucking go.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, this one's ambiguous. But the philosophical idea is there, the religious connotations are there.
Yeah.
Like the Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, who
Yeah,
had the
exactly.
dream in the whole nine, couldn't decipher the dream.
Yeah.
And then had Daniel tell him what it was all about. And then
Ooh, nice
praising
cut.
God. You know,
Yeah.
saying, you know, your God is the best God of all gods. So, you know,
Yeah.
now you're cool with me, you know.
Yeah.
Where he was going to wipe out all the wise men of Babylon. So, naming the ship after, you know, the king of Babylon.
Yeah, it's full of this kind
It's
of
full of it, yeah.
Yeah,
It's not full of it, but
It's pretty amazing to have something that's also a balls-out action movie
yeah.
be full of this much philosophy.
And change the
And-
shape
and
of action
theme.
movies
Yeah, it's
of the time and
really-
after.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a unique thing.
Well, I mean, they were really influenced by Chinese martial arts films.
Yeah,
You know,
that
I
whole
mean,
thing came in, yeah.
You know, that the sparring program looks like a dojo. And, you know, they're in gis and the whole nine. Basically, they're just fighting kung fu, jiu-jitsu, all kinds of different martial arts styles.
Yeah.
I mean, when Morpheus and Agent Smith are fighting in the bathroom, that's more like a boxing style, like almost Chinese boxing-ish.
Okay.
So there's a couple of different styles in there. And the choreographer, Yuen Won Ping, he worked on a lot of Hong Kong martial arts films.
Oh, okay.
And the funny thing is that he was excited about making the movie until he got together with the actors.
Yeah.
And he was like, these guys are out of shape and unfit. And what have I gotten myself into? And Keanu Reeves had some kind of back injury where he was wearing a neck brace.
Because he's used to these Hong Kong actors who
Yeah.
are ready for that kind of
who
stuff.
are in stupid shape.
But these Hollywood kind of
yeah,
layabouts.
right, exactly. So they went through something crazy like 4 months before they even went into pre-production.
I heard it was intense.
Yeah. And then even while they were filming, they
Yeah.
still had to train.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
it pays off with some of these scenes. They're incredible.
Well, let me ask you this. Do they hold up?
Some of them do and some of them don't.
Okay, which ones do you think don't hold up as well?
Some of the wire fu.
Yeah.
There's that one scene which was great and iconic when the movie came out in the training program between Neo and Morpheus,
Yeah.
where he runs up the beam. That still looks cool.
Yeah.
But then when he's flying over him, it's very wire work. You could tell.
Okay.
That's one of the wire effects I don't like in the film. There's another effect, like I mentioned, with the mirror.
Yeah.
That kind of doesn't hold up anymore.
Yeah, it's got that very kind of liquid CGI thing.
Yeah.
That's very like Terminator 2,
Terminator 2.
or The Abyss. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they might have had to cut corners because they were already spending so much money on effects and combat scenes.
That could have been the best that they could do at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And there is that one other scene that I saw in the beginning where Trinity's running from the agents,
Yeah.
and she jumps from a rooftop and flies through a window.
Yeah.
That superimposed scene does not hold up when you look at it closely.
Yeah.
But the running across the rooftops and all that, I remember seeing that in the trailer. I was with a friend of mine at a bar, and of course a jukebox was on.
Yeah.
I look up at the TV and I see these scenes,
Yeah.
you know, with Trinity running and jumping rooftop to rooftop, and then some kung fu scenes. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I
Yeah.
want to see that.
Yeah, no, it was mind-blowing at
Yeah.
the time. It did have the same impact that Star Wars did in 77.
Yeah, it did.
You
It
know?
did. It
And
was
this
the
is-
99 Star Wars.
And this is the Star Wars trilogy for a certain generation. Mm-hmm. You know, they saw this when they were young. They grew up on it.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, and it was that transforming of the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said every action movie afterwards
Absolutely.
had the wire
Absolutely.
stunts and
Yeah.
quick-paced kung fu. I mean, Jason Statham started doing kung fu movies.
Well, what do you think about the lobby scene?
I love it.
It's incredible, right?
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely love that scene. Yeah, I love the combination of the physical motion and the bullets and the
Yeah.
music, and it's so well choreographed. And
Yeah.
the filmmaking is fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's really,
Yeah.
really well done.
Yeah.
The mix of slow motion, practical effects with the explosions and
Yeah.
the gunfire.
Yeah.
How they hid the wires during that scene.
Yeah. I mean, did they use subtractive CGI basically to kind of erase the
I would
wires?
assume so.
That's
I would assume so.
what I'm thinking. Yeah.
And I also read that they had to design the costumes around the wires. Because everybody's like
Right.
wearing
Yeah,
overcoats and stuff like this, or
Yeah.
if not, they're wearing tight stuff.
Yeah.
So that must have been difficult for the costume designer. Because Neo's basically got a shoulder to floor overcoat, and the same thing with Morpheus.
Yeah.
You know, although Morpheus throws it off when he's going to fight. I like that coat a lot in this movie.
Yeah. Oh, the costume is amazing. Yeah.
It's freaking great.
I mean, if you're going to go into the Matrix, why would you not want to look badass?
Yeah, right?
You can just
Exactly.
like program your wardrobe.
I know. But they call it residual self-image.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So damn, Morpheus must have been a pimp in real life. He's all pimped out. I mean, in a good way, too. And those sunglasses?
Yeah.
They just clip onto his nose?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and all the glasses were specifically made for the film.
Oh, interesting.
They weren't available on the market. Of course,
Yeah.
I think by the second or third movie, then they had
Well, yeah, now they're
Matrix
making... Yeah,
sunglasses.
of course, it's a thing.
Everybody wanted a pair of Matrix sunglasses.
I mean, yeah, like with the practical effects, the bullet time shit, when you look at how they actually did this, like they had a whole series of cameras.
Yeah.
Like just arranged in a circle.
Like on a track or something,
Around
right?
a track. And they had to correct, because each lens is going to look a little bit different.
Right.
So they had to correct for the differences between the lenses. That was kind of computer. But each camera was timed to fire at a specific moment. Kind of in this, I guess, this row.
In real time, though. Not
In
slow
real
motion.
time.
Yeah, in real time.
Yeah. Of course, now you do that all by computer. But this was completely like practical against a green screen and everything.
Right.
And it looks amazing. I
Yeah,
think
it still
looks
does.
amazing.
Still holds
Yeah,
up.
Yeah. And as if it weren't influential enough, let's talk about the music.
Oh, yeah.
like the songs.
Yeah.
You know, the soundtrack is already pretty cool. A lot of electronic, but
It's very electronic and what have you.
But who we got here? Rob Zombie,
Rob Zombie,
Marilyn Manson,
Manson's on it.
Rage Against the
Machine.
Meat Beat Manifesto,
Yep.
Propellerheads.
Yep.
Yeah, like cool music. And
Even
music,
the Deftones were on it.
music that was alternative at the time.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they call it. Yeah.
That was the alternative taste at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think...
Utilized really well because the music was kind of undergroundy and that party was underground.
Right.
It kind of emphasized the whole theme.
Right.
You know, that you're going to a place that's kind of away from mainstream reality.
Right,
You know, like
right.
it was completely appropriate to the thematic construct of the movie, which I always thought was really cool.
I agree.
And it gives you an excuse to do really cool music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is
I mean,
awesome.
it's also of the time where every science fiction or action movie, or even horror movie,
Yeah.
a genre movie was trying to also sell a soundtrack. Because so many other movies, genre movies, did well, like The Crow and Judgment Night. and
Pulp
what have you.
Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
They all did really well with the soundtracks. So they figured the same thing. We'll sell a soundtrack to kids while we're at it.
Yeah.
You know, make more money off the property.
And it works in the movie, too.
Yeah. Because it's not overdone. They're not doing music videos to these songs.
Exactly.
A portion of the song is played with the scene.
Yeah.
Which I like.
It's not a needle drop movie like you get these days sometimes.
Right, yeah.
Which frustrates me.
Right. I mean, it's a hip soundtrack,
Yeah,
you know, for the time and the whole thing.
Yeah.
I still like some of these artists.
totally.
You know what I mean? I still like some of them. And have some of their records.
Yeah.
You know, I bought the records. That's what when I was seeing the movie,
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, they're playing that? Wow,
Yeah,
nice, look at that. So,
You got any more like kind of philosophical thematic stuff you want to bring up that you noticed?
I could never pronounce this French philosopher's name.
Jean Baudrillard,
There you go. You got it. You got it.
Simulacra and Simulation.
Simulacra and Simulation.
Which
It's
is the book,
yeah,
right? That
where he hides the illegal hacking files when he sells them to the guy that's with the girl with the white rabbit tattoo.
Yeah. Now, I haven't read it. From what I understand, the basic idea is that human experience is a simulation of reality.
Exactly. Reality symbols in society have a particular effect on human behavior.
Right. Yeah.
It's a difficult read.
Have you tried to read it?
I've tried.
Yeah?
I've
Okay.
tried. And actually, the Wachowskis made the cast read this. I could see Keanu Reeves being like, whoa.
I'm surprised the cast didn't report them to the union for that.
Yeah, right?
That's a form of abuse.
I'll admit I tried when I was younger.
Yeah, probably if you give it a go now.
If I give it a go, I might be able
wrap your
to.
heads around it, yeah.
You know, but it's intense.
Yeah.
It's a difficult read.
Yeah.
But I recommend it if you're into certain types of philosophy. I mean, I got the gist of it.
Yeah, the basic idea.
That's it. But there are certain things that, you got to reread it over and over to kind of go, what does that just say? And
Yeah.
You know, there were points where I put it down going, okay, are you manipulating me now? Okay, is this influencing me? You know, in a bad way or a good way? I don't know what to do here. You know, it's like when you start reading like Ayn Rand and stuff like that when you're younger, you know, trying to get your head around philosophy, period. You know, you can sit there with your head swimming after a while. And obviously, it's done some damage to me.
You get your noodle baked?
Oh, yeah. Really baked my noodle.
One other little thing that I liked is this. So when Smith is talking to Morpheus, he says, in the first Matrix, humans did not thrive because it was a utopia and too perfect.
Yeah.
They resisted it.
And they lost thousands and thousands of crops.
Meaning people, right?
Yeah, meaning people.
So is the idea that we need to struggle to find meaning?
Yeah.
Right?
Seems like it. Or
it's a bleak
mediocrity.
statement.
Or mediocrity. That's kind of what he was implying as well.
Or is it that we need to kind of suffer? We need to struggle? Because in a utopia, you don't have to struggle.
Of course
right?
not.
Everything's everything's provided for you.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, okay, you basically see people just being workers.
Yeah.
For the most part, in the Matrix, when they're walking through the Matrix.
Yeah.
The heroes are walking through the Matrix.
Yeah. Oh, so they just need that daily kind of grind.
Daily kind of grind, mediocrity kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
yeah,
I mean, because
yeah.
his boss tells him, you know, we work as a unit. That's it, and you need to be here on time and the whole thing. So it says something about society even now.
Yeah.
Even nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Because when Morpheus is talking to Neo about the veil that's been pulled over his eyes, what does he reference? He says, when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes.
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All the things that people kind of have to do that they don't like doing, but if they're working and all that, they can treat themselves.
Yeah.
To whatever they want, that big screen TV, that nice big stereo. Let's go to the movies. Let's see the Matrix. You know,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Wow. Yeah.
So
That's deep. Yeah. No, I like that.
deep
It's good.
moment.
All right. It's time for a segment that we call.
Max is big.
Thank you for that. Okay, so when he goes to see the Oracle, there's a bunch of kids called the Potentials. Potentials? What are
Right,
they
the
called?
Potentials.
Yeah. Okay.
These are the other potentials.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So one is like bending a spoon with his mind or her mind. I
couldn't tell if it was a boy or girl.
Yeah, okay. An androgynous child is moving a spoon
Yes,
with his or her
yes.
mind, with their mind.
What was the cat in the 70s that used to do? Remember he was on all the talk shows?
I know.
The fake guy? The guy?
Yuri Geller.
Yuri Geller, yes. Thank you for, yes.
That's one thing I want to mention.
Yeah.
He allegedly bent spoons with his mind.
Yeah.
And Arthur C. Clarke was taken in by this.
Yeah, right.
Arthur C. Clarke,
That's right.
the sci-fi author, scientist who basically invented the concept of the satellite.
Also philosopher.
Got taken in by Yuri Geller.
Yeah.
He talks about this in the foreword of one of his books.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. Anyway,
Shit, we're kind of looking smart.
what's wrong with us? We're on iTunes now.
Right.
We're done smart.
we got to step up our game.
But the kid asks, is it the spoon moving or is it your mind, right?
Yeah,
Or something like
right.
that, right?
It says
Some-
to
what
bend the
was it
spoon,
exactly?
that's impossible. It's not the spoon that's bending. It's you.
Exactly.
Yourself
Yeah.
that you are bending.
So that's from Zen Koan.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So there are two monks were arguing about a temple flag that was waving, right?
Oh, yeah, right.
One says the flag moves, the other one says the wind moves.
The wind moves, right.
And then a wiser monk comes in and says, bitches, I'm going to tell you what's going on.
Listen up.
It's not the flag, it's not the wind, it's your mind that's moving. I'm pretty sure that's a deliberate reference to that.
I believe so, yeah.
So another
Yeah.
bit of Buddhism stuck in there.
Yeah.
Okay, that same scene on the TV, what's playing?
Oh, my gosh. You got me on that
The
one.
movie with the giant bunnies?
Oh, Night of the Lupus?
Night of the
Night
Lupus.
of the Lupus.
Night of Lepus.
Of the Lepus, thank you. Of the Lupus.
Now,
Oh, I had a couple
so
of
this
beers.
is like a bad movie from the, 60s?
From the 60s, that's right. Yeah.
About giant rabbits, right?
Giant rabbits.
So-
Once again, rabbit hole.
Rabbits, yeah, so why right then? Why is that showing right then?
I think it's just a neat Easter egg to kind of subliminally
Yeah,
influence the audience.
the whole rabbit hole thing.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. You're down the rabbit hole. You know,
I'm
chase
also
the white
wondering,
rabbit.
do you know why they called this movie Night of the Lepus instead of Attack of the Killer Bunnies?
Because listen to yourself. Because listen to yourself.
Apparently, they didn't reveal, this is the 60s, of course, they didn't reveal in the advertising that it was giant bunnies.
Right.
They just, they alluded to some sort of monster. So they figured if they called it Night of the Lepus, because, of course, Americans didn't have access to Wikipedia, wouldn't know that lepus is Latin for rabbit.
And most Americans didn't own a Latin dictionary.
Yeah, they wouldn't know going in what the monster was.
Right.
So it was a kind of a way of hiding that from them. So I'm wondering if that's kind of what it's all about.
Huh? Oh, yeah,
You know,
you know what?
I
That's a
don't
good
know.
analogy.
I mean, it's
That's a really good analogy, actually.
it would be pretty. Yeah, it's going pretty deep, but
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's
You become
what
one
it
of
was.
the conspiracy theory people about the Matrix online now.
Yeah, please shoot me first.
Conspiracy.
Okay, so which city does this take place in? The Matrix part? It's never.
It's never said. It's supposed to be some generic
Yeah.
American
And
city.
like everything is like the city phone book.
Yeah,
the city
right.
subway, right?
Yep, yeah.
It's filmed in Sydney.
That's right.
Now, a couple of times there are giveaways. In the lobby scene when they go to the elevator,
Uh-huh. Oh,
the sign says, do not use the
Lift.
lift. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
lift.
of course, which they'd only say in Australia.
right. Or England.
Or England,
Yeah.
yeah. Certainly not in America.
No.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
You say elevator.
Yeah, like a bunch of rubes that we are. Okay, one last bit. This thing I picked up on the commentary track. So the scene where he's with all the people in the crowd and the woman with the red dress.
Oh, yeah, the
Right.
woman in red.
Yeah. I didn't notice this, but apparently a lot of the extras in that scene were twins.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the idea was to imply that the programmer took shortcuts.
Oh, well, because it's Mouse, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Because
yeah.
that's his program.
Yeah.
All about the woman in the red dress,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And everybody else, it doesn't matter. It could be the same guy.
Right.
Yeah.
the digital pimp, they called him on the ship.
Exactly, yeah.
But he also has that great diatribe about tasty wheat.
Oh, yeah.
You know, where he talks about how do the machines know what tasty wheat tastes like?
Yeah, good
It could have
question.
tasted like tuna fish or whatever the hell.
Yeah, which is
That-
another like, little real world
yeah,
type thing, yeah.
Which I kind of like. Like everything
Yeah.
that you can't describe what it tastes like chicken.
Yeah,
So I thought that was kind of funny.
yeah.
Oh, but he gets it bad though when they're chasing them
Uh-huh.
out of the building after they see the Oracle.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there. He's looking at the centerfold of the woman in red, and the agents come in.
Yeah.
Oh, they just shoot the hell out of him.
Yeah,
But he's got those huge, like, what the hell are they guns? You know, with the round clips, like they're like mafia guns.
Oh, they're just the barrel clips, right?
Barrel clips. Yeah,
he's
that's
got-
what it is.
yeah.
And you're thinking, oh shit, he's gonna take them on, but they
Yeah.
just shoot the hell out of the poor kid.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
So you got some bits?
Well, funny how the high-tech Nokia phones,
Yeah.
they seem so
Yeah.
clunky nowadays.
Yeah.
But back then it was
That's,
like, oh shit, those were cool phones, you know, with the slide out.
They looked amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
It was so high tech.
Tiny little green screen,
Uh-huh.
you know. I think that's kind of funny. We talked about it briefly. The tech has a new kind of meets old feel, steampunkish.
Yeah.
Which I kinda
Definitely.
like.
Yeah, that's very cool. Especially in the design of the ships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Nebuchadnezzar. The apparatus they used to get Neo debugged.
Yeah, it's like a big old kind of
Yeah,
weird,
weird
yeah,
thing.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's got like a motorcycle handle on it. Motorcycle,
Yeah.
you know, like.
When do they really start using steampunk imagery like that? I mean, it was around this era, I think.
I think it was still underground around this time,
When
but
did,
it wasn't huge.
When did that French movie? Oh God, you know what I'm talking about. Same guy who did Alien Resurrection. It was
City of Lost
So,
Children.
yeah, that was
City of
very
Lost
steampunk
Children.
as well, right? And
Yeah.
that was what, around this time, maybe?
No, that was earlier.
Earlier?
It was
Yeah.
a few years earlier.
So it was kind of an aesthetic of the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think the phrase had been coined yet.
No,
I don't
no.
think they had come up with
like
a name
the
for it.
look was happening, but
Yeah.
later on they came up with the name.
And now it's like subculture kind of thing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's become more popular.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
But there was a real surgence of that for a while there, which I remember.
Yeah.
You know, which is funny.
Yeah.
So one of the forerunners of maybe putting it into the mainstream.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like you said, cyberpunk. The outfits are very rock and roll.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? Very rock star.
Yeah, right. You get any more bits?
I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
So we gotta do metal moment.
Metal moment!
What do you think? What do you think is the most metal moment of this movie?
Lobby shootout. Period.
Just
the whole thing.
yeah.
Mini moment, metal mini moment.
Yeah.
Would be Trinity walking up to that agent and saying, "Dodge this," with the gun right at his temple.
I kind of like the helicopter crash into the
Oh,
building.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
As a full-on metal moment.
All right. Yeah, I can see
and
that.
I like the way you kind of see the building like undulating.
Right.
Like from the shockwave.
Like a ripple effect.
Yeah. That was very new at the time.
Right. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, with the liquid effect, but they pulled that off way better than the mirror effect.
Yeah, they did. It's true.
You know,
yeah,
the building
they
effect
did.
looks great.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Looks really
yeah.
good. Yeah, I think those are pretty good metal
Those
moments.
are definitely metal moments.
I mean, hard rock moments. Hard rock moment. Morpheus and Neo fighting.
Yeah.
You know,
That was cool.
but metal for me, full on metal moment. The whole lobby scene.
That was mind blowing.
Yeah.
It still kind of is.
I
quite
still love
honestly.
it.
So yeah, what's our general assessment of this movie?
I still really enjoy it.
I do too.
I really enjoy
I
it.
really get a lot out of it.
It's in
Yeah.
my top 50 all-time favorite
It's
sci-fi dystopian
Yeah,
films.
amazing blend of sci-fi, action, philosophy. I mean, you know me, I love thoughtful sci-fi. It's sci-fi about ideas that makes you think. Like, Blade Runner, like we talked about before, like Rollerball last time.
Yeah.
And this movie is in the pinnacle.
Oh, yeah.
It's a major one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll make you pick up a book. you
Yeah.
know? It might make you pick up a book
Sucks when that happens.
because reading's for suckers. I still really dig it. Also, it's one of the last times for me that I've seen real creativity with characters on screen again instead of rehashing old characters. You know, I mean,
Tell me what you mean by that.
the ideas, they've been used before. Good versus evil, et cetera, et cetera. Heroes struggle.
Hero archetype, yeah.
You know, the arcs are very similar to other movies that we've seen.
Yeah.
You know, a million times.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of these characters and what they did with their abilities in the Matrix and the idea of the whole thing. It hadn't really been done before to this extent. You know, with this alternate reality, the Matrix.
Yeah, that was a very cool idea.
You know,
Yeah.
and basically imbuing them with superpowers. Like I said, when I first saw the trailer, I thought it was an independent superhero movie.
Yeah.
Making up characters for a sci-fi film. That's the way it looked.
That's kind of what I thought, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And back then, trailers didn't spoil things.
Right.
So you didn't know going in.
They just gave you the meat a little bit
yeah.
to entice you, and that was it. You didn't have 50 trailers for a film.
Yeah, like I had no idea the whole thing about the machines and all that. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
That was a complete surprise.
Which
was
great.
amazing. Yeah.
You got to save that for when you go to watch. You know, all you
Today
see
they
is...
would spoil it.
Of course,
the trailer would tell
you
you.
know right away.
Flat up front.
That's
yeah.
why I was so pissed off at the trailer for Terminator 2.
Yeah,
where they
that's
gave
right.
it
Yeah,
away
yeah. That's supposed to be a surprise.
Schwarzenegger was the protector now.
Exactly.
That really pissed me off because that scene in that hallway in the mall, in the service hallway.
It's shot to be ambiguous. It's shot to like make you think that he's still the bad guy.
Right, exactly. And they spoiled it in the fucking trailer.
Yeah, hate that.
You know, they should have just shown like Arnold on the motorcycle or whatever, chasing somebody. Just had a real short trailer. People still would have ran to see it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I know damn well.
It's Schwarzenegger. It's a Terminator sequel. People would come out for that movie.
If they just showed him, you know, just his face, and then boom, Terminator 2, he'd have been like, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Okay, speaking of characters, did you buy the love story?
Between Neo and Trinity?
Yeah.
I felt like the chemistry was a little forced, to be honest with you.
And you see it develop over the trilogy. I never really believe it.
I feel
I don't think there's anything there between them.
They seem very stiff. Okay, maybe this could be on purpose because they've never experienced real emotions like this in the real world. Okay. It could be something.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm stretching here.
Maybe.
But, you know.
But if you've been brought up in the Matrix, you've seen enough soap operas and freaking rom-coms
pornos
to know how love is supposed to look.
You know how it's supposed to look.
But they're not even doing that.
It's all kind of new, maybe. You know, it's all kind of new.
I was never really convinced.
I see why. Like I said, I see why. It does seem a little robotic. Like I said, maybe once again that could be something to the film. Now I'm being one of the conspiracy guys.
You could be right. I wonder if, and now I'm looking at the Wachowskis as like their whole kind of career. I feel like it might be a defect of them as directors.
Oh, you mean when it comes to love stories within the film?
Bound is actually a pretty great love story.
Yeah, no, it is.
But
it is.
In their what do you think of their overall body of work, Wachowskis?
I like Bound. I like The Matrix.
Yeah. And then
that's kind of it.
That's where I'm going. Cloud Atlas. What do you think?
Oh no, I did not like it. Jupiter Ascending.
I love the ambition of Cloud Atlas. I wanted to like it, but ultimately it did not work for me. And again, a lot of it depended on these character moments.
Right.
I don't think actually worked.
So maybe that is a flaw in their writing, their directing.
Jupiter Ascending sounded horrible, so I never saw it.
I saw maybe 15 minutes of it. I said nope.
Have you watched their Netflix series Sense8?
No, I haven't.
I haven't tried that.
I haven't.
They've kind of had a disappointing career, should I say? You know, like a lot of promise, but did you ever see Speed Racer?
No, I refused.
I refused. Just haven't heard anything really. I hear it's visually interesting, but
it looks
beyond that.
It looks it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Speed Racer cartoon was one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Even though it was an anime, very one-dimensional story. That's it. How are you going to make a movie around this?
I considered watching it, but then I heard that it was more than 2 hours long.
For Speed Racer.
An hour and a half movie, sure. A Speed Racer, whatever. Yeah. That could be, but it just sounds...
There's no way I'm watching that then.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like the look of it.
Yeah,
because they have this great film style.
It's almost like they fell into this other thing that they
style over substance.
Yeah.
After this,
I don't know. It's almost like
after the Matrix. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it.
It feels like they blew their wad, pardon the expression, on the Matrix trilogy, and just kind of ran out of ideas, maybe.
Well, yeah. It
seems I haven't been really impressed by their work in a while, and Matrix Revolutions came out, 2003?
Yeah. So it's been a
long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, they've had personal things to deal with. Sure.
Right.
Yeah, but...
I don't know, going back to the Speed Racer thing, that should be like a short. If they made a short.
Yeah, exactly.
Or nowadays...
why is that?
Netflix wasn't around back. Well, it was on disc. If they made now they can put that out, an hour-long special.
Yeah,
and that would have been better. You would have watched and go, oh, look, it's fun. It's great.
That was fun. Yeah.
But, for 2 hours...
Yeah, it could have been like a holiday special or something.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Or even if they wanted to do it, a half-hour show, like the original cartoon.
Sure.
That would have been made
or do
better off.
webisodes or something. Or
Right,
like, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They should consult with us first, obviously.
Nobody's going to listen to us, though. Maybe they will now
We're on
that we're
iTunes
on
now.
iTunes.
Come on. All right, well, time to wrap this up. Where does this movie stand on the suck-ass dystopian scale?
The suck-ass factor?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, first thing, how do we know that we're not living in this dystopian reality now?
I know, right? Exactly.
This is the first time we can say that about a movie.
And look, I've known people that have said,
Of course.
that could be true, man.
Well,
you don't know.
Well, you live in the East Village, so yeah, I can
could
see
be
that
true.
happening a lot. Yeah.
You know.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. If you had a choice, would you take the red pill or the blue pill?
Good question.
Would you prefer to stay in the comfortable reality? Let's just say that this is what this is right now, what you're
Right.
living in.
If I could do the cipher thing,
or do you want to live in, that cramped up like spaceship looking thing, wearing that rough looking fabric and
Right.
drinking
Wearing
bad
burlap.
hooch and weird wheat shit for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
that's pretty much my life now. What are you talking about? I wear the same shit all the time. I drink bad hooch. I don't eat goop, though. I'm just joking in somewhere. You know what? The
Yeah.
suck factor is this.
Yeah,
If you find out what the Matrix is,
yeah,
and you realize that all this has gone on,
yeah.
that's pretty sucky.
Yeah.
That would take a big readjustment in
Yeah.
your life. Huge readjustment.
Yep.
You'd have to rethink everything.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
decide while you're there, what are you going to do?
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
know? And if you're not the one, it's kind of even more sucky.
Yeah.
Because you're just kind of going in and out of the Matrix, trying to get people out
Yeah.
and running from agents all the time.
But it'd be kind of fun being in the Matrix.
Well, yeah.
mean-
unless you get caught by an agent
Yeah.
and get the shit killed out of you.
But you could do some crazy ass shit
True.
in the Matrix. I mean, don't you?
I would
do-
rather just stay in the construct program. Just fuck around. You know?
I mean, it's your chance to be a superhero,
Very
basically.
true.
Yeah,
Very true.
yeah,
But with great power
yeah.
comes great
It's
responsibility.
true. Yeah, it's true.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
So the suck factor is kind of high.
it is pretty high.
I'd say it's
Yeah.
probably about a fucking 8 or 9.
I'd put
say
it at
9.
an 8.
Oh yeah,
I'll give it an
I'll say
8.
9.
Yeah,
Okay.
I gotcha. Okay. Makes sense.
If you could pull a cipher thing, you get pulled out of the Matrix.
Yeah.
And you go, well, fuck this.
Yeah.
And you want to go back in, then okay, you're fine.
And betray humanity
Right.
in the process.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Be that scumbag if you're cool with it. That's why he doesn't want to remember anything too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
Yeah,
basically,
that's a good point. Yeah,
he just
doesn't
kind of
wanna-
sold humanity
'cause
out.
he's gonna feel guilty about it. He doesn't want that.
Right.
It's true. I never thought of that. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
say a 9. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But you get to wear
Messed
cool,
up.
se-
Oh, yeah,
cool outfits,
yeah.
guns.
Yeah, I wouldn't
and
mind that.
Kung fu.
Yeah,
and,
instant kung fu, jujitsu.
Yeah, right.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah,
Right.
Krav Maga, all that kind of shit.
right. I want to know how to fly a helicopter. I know how.
You want guns? Like freaking like shells upon shells
Right.
going on for infinity.
Arsenal.
Here. Yeah.
The Infinity Arsenal.
That'd
Band
be pretty
name
cool.
called it.
All right. Well, one last piece of business right now. Do you have the ceremonial coin for flipping?
Yes, I do.
Right. Who flips?
You flipped last time.
Okay.
I'm going to flip
Right.
now.
Cool.
Ready?
Yes. Heads.
You dog. You got it again.
Okay. All right.
Damn you!
Okay. All right.
I'm like fucking 4 down now, am
Yeah, I know. Okay. I'm
Shit.
gonna make a choice. I'm gonna.
I?
Make a
Okay.
choice.
All right.
The original version of RoboCop.
I applaud you, my friend.
I know.
and I swear, I shit you not, that was my choice.
I know you've been thinking about this, so because I've had a few in a row, I want to give us one that we can, let's get into.
Oh,
That's the kind of guy I am, you know? I would not sell your ass out in the Matrix
damn!
for a good steak.
I would sell your ass out.
I know that. Believe me, I know. That's why I'm not going to be on the same fucking Nebuchadnezzar with you. All right, so RoboCop is next.
RoboCop.
Up. Okay. And to remind everybody, our website is on WordPress at uselessinfoinc.wordpress.com. We're on the YouTubes, and we are on iTunes and Google Play. So you can find us easily and talk to us and, do that whole social networking thing that you can do these days.
Right,
Yeah.
social media liking us and all that,
Exactly.
contacting us and the whole thing. And what do you think?
Yep.
Curse us out. We don't care.
Yeah.
Just respond.
Yeah. We just want human contact.
Unlike the Matrix.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right, everybody. I'm Walt.
I am Max, and the future sucks, so make today awesome.
Future sucks.